Welcome to The Living Advantage, your property, your wealth. I'm Neil McLean and I've spent more than 30 years in the media and on television around Australia. And I'm here to share with you some facts about the Australian finance and property industry and information I guarantee you won't see on the 6 o'clock news. And at the end of this presentation, if your eyes are opened and you'd like to talk to an expert for more free information, I'll let you know how you can do it right from this website. But first, let me ask you, where will you be at retirement? For a lot of people, they think, well, I earn decent money, I'm paying off the house, and I've got some superannuation, I'll be fine. Well, here's the raw truth. 95% of Australians retire on just $12,000 per year. That's $250 a week. What can you do with $250 a week? Let's look at it from the other end. Say you want to set the goal of retiring with $60,000 per year to spend, and you live for 20 years after you retire. Well, you need more than $1 million. $1 million. This is the reality. Most Australians are going to face a poor standard of living in their retirement. But here's the scariest part. There are countless ways for even an average wage earner to produce serious, life-changing wealth. But most people go through life thinking that wealthy people just got lucky, and wealth is not achievable for themselves. We have accessed tried, tested and proven wealth strategies that thousands upon thousands of people are using every day. We can't force you into helping yourself, but we can give you the tools and the information to do it. We found that the best wealth building strategy is a combination of minimizing tax, streamlining home loan finance and investing in property. Let's start with home loans and a really important fact. In the last 12 months, if you haven't sat down and compared your current home loan to what else is available, there's every chance that you are paying too much. I'm not saying you should be going out every year to refinance, but you need to be aware of how quickly the economy changes and how quickly the banks change their minds and their rules. Now, most people think the big banks are faceless corporations that really don't care whether they get your business or not. Not true. They want your business and they need your business and they will negotiate and do deals to get it, but only when you know how to play their game. Now, I bet more than once you've received a letter from your bank or a phone call or seen an ad on TV claiming that refinancing can save you thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars even, or $100,000. Well, here's the truth. If you do it right, that is possible. Remember that your mortgage is going to be around for a long time, usually 20 to 30 years nowadays. So making a small change now can easily add up to tens of thousands of dollars over such a long period. You just have to know what to do. The first step is to realize that the banks are just like any other business. They win customers and they lose customers. Now, obviously, they want to win more than they lose. And to do that, the banks simply make it hard for you to change banks. They charge you a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, they make the process complicated, hoping that most people will just put it in the too hard basket. Think of this as like moving your phone account from Telstra to Optus. Many years ago, Telstra made it hard to change by charging exit fees and not allowing you to keep your own phone number. The government eventually said that this was uncompetitive and they banned those tactics. Now look at all the options we have for our home phones, mobiles, the internet, and how easy it can be to change providers. As for the banks, they make it hard to move your home loan by charging you exit fees, which could be thousands of dollars. Now, this is really important. In 2010, the government is making moves to stop banks charging big exit fees, as this has finally been seen as uncompetitive to consumers. Right now, most people don't know about this, but we do, and we'll share it all with you for free. But even at this moment, if it costs you a few $1,000s to change your loan to another bank, and it will save you tens of thousands of dollars over the life of the mortgage, well, the numbers still stack up in your favor. So beating the banks at their own game is possible, and it really is something that most people can do. But when it comes to property and taxation, something you must do is learn that property investment and taxation go hand in hand. And you should treat these two like a married couple, one helping the other. Here's a fact I bet you didn't know. 80% of millionaires in Australia have property investment to thank for much of their wealth. Now ask yourself, do you know any wealthy person that doesn't have an impressive history in property? I'm sure you won't have to think too hard about that one. And by the way, a lot of these people aren't out there in jobs earning $1 million a year. We've all heard the famous saying, you'll never get rich working for someone else. Well, that's true for most people. But then again, most people work for their money when their money should be working for them. And I think most of us know someone who earns far less than us, but has much more wealth. How do they do it? I bet you think they just got lucky in property or they bought at the right time. Well, here's another famous saying. The right time to buy property is any time. Or more accurately, the right time to buy property is now, as long as you do it right. Going back to the very start of the property market, there are always ups and downs, but property prices always rise. In the last 100 years, average property prices have risen about 8%. And think about what we've been through in the last 100 years. 2 world wars, dozens of other wars, 9/11, stock market crashes, and more than our fair share of recessions and depressions. Yet over the long term, property keeps going up. Now you might think these are all very convenient facts and figures, but here's the proof about property. If it wasn't the most rock-solid investment you can make, do you think banks would lend up to 95% on the value of the property? So how do you make property work for you? Well, there are a number of advantages to owning and leveraging property, but the big one is tax. Once we help you take care of the banks, we'll take aim at the tax man. Think about this. Over a 10-year period, the average family pays about $300,000 in tax. Imagine if someone could sit down with you and show you how to put $150,000 of that back in your pocket. Well, I can tell you that there is no magic wand, but it can be done, and the government allows it. We'll come back to that shortly, but now let's talk more about property. Perhaps you've thought about investing in property. Perhaps you've heard about the benefits of rental properties and the tax advantages, but you're just unsure how to get that done. Or maybe you're like nearly every other person and you think you can't afford to invest in property. If this is the case, it may shock you to know that most people with a solid income and equity in their home can afford to get into an investment property from as little as $50 per week. Seriously, if someone tapped you on the shoulder and said, I can help you buy a house and get wealthy and it'll only cost you $50 a week, what would you say? You'd better answer that question for yourself because you've just received that tap on the shoulder right here, right now. Do you want to know how most people answer that question? They say, tell me more. Well, that's what we're here to do. Living Advantage has dug deep to research some of the best people in the industry who are ready to share their knowledge on finance, property, and taxation with you, and they'll share this information with you for free. While they can present you with opportunities, they'll not present you with any obligation. Just professional, qualified information on debt reduction, tax minimization, and wealth creation strategies designed around your own specific circumstances. We promise to open your eyes to how the property and home loan markets really work and how the government allows massive tax advantages to everyday people. They're ready to talk to you for free and they're ready right now. So don't wait. Get in touch with us now by clicking Contact Us in the menu of the Living Advantage website, where you'll find our hotline number and an inquiry form you can complete. Make an appointment, and if you put the kettle on, we'll even come to you. Let's face it, not many of us are getting rich earning a wage. But once you know how to make even a small amount of money work for you, real wealth is achievable. We have some of the best solutions right at our fingertips. So please, do this for yourself and your family. Give us a call. There is no obligation and you've got nothing to lose. Because when you make the decision to fight back against the interest you pay to the banks and the tax you pay to the government, we've got the ammunition you need. And we've helped thousands of Australians over the years, so why not you? So please think for a moment what you could gain and give us a call now. I'm Neil McLean and I'll be back soon with more industry news and information for Living Advantage.